Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from the Singapore Fintech Festival. Joining me for this segment, we have Tek Olano, who's the Chief Financial Officer of Mynt, the holding company of GCash. And we're here to discuss GCash launches in financial services and international expansion. Tek, it is great to have you with us. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thanks for having me, Jill. Good morning. Good morning to everyone who's watching this.
Yes, and well, good overnight to those in the U.S. that are watching us as well. Let's talk about GCash, where it is now compared to a year later when we last spoke.
We all watched Martha when you spoke to her last year. And I'm just happy to report that I think what Martha spoke about financial inclusion, how to differentiate the Philippines and provide financial access to the Filipinos, and we've sustained the growth momentum over the past year from 60 million users that Martha mentioned last year. We are over 80 million registered base, and we've continued to grow, particularly in the rural sector, in the lower socioeconomic classes. We've also started to pivot ourselves into financial services more and more. The lending business has been growing sustainably, with over 3.4 million unique borrowers today. We have disbursed almost $2 billion worth of loans live to date, and that we expect that to continue to grow across our different product launches on the lending side. We've launched different products as well on savings. We've launched different products on investments and wealth management, and I think that's a good report card for the past year.
It certainly is. You have lending, you have wealth management, you have insurance, so certainly a lot of launches in financial services. Tell us about international expansion. What's next?
We've started to expand overseas, particularly for Filipinos. It's really geared for Filipino migrants, Filipino tourists. So we have basically 3 different products today that are geared for overseas. The first one is GCash Overseas, where we're available in 6 different countries today, including the US, UK, Italy, and some others, where Filipino migrants can now download the GCash app, access the GCash app, and transact back home. It's a key insight of this is for most Filipinos, the problem of remittance stops when they send money back home. They don't know where it's being used. With the GCash app, you provide the wage earner overseas an ability to use the app, control, pay the tuition, buy the groceries themselves, and in that way they're very secure of how their remittances are working. We have 2 other different products geared for now tourists, Filipino tourists abroad. We're available in 17 countries where Alipay plus QR is, and we're available in 200 countries with our partnership with Visa through our GCash Visa card, and we continue to expand. I think the goal is to be able to serve more and more Filipinos abroad, and to kind of widen the reach of GCash more for Filipinos.
What are some of the future plans as you go into 2024?
Outside of international, we're looking at, I guess, more products launches for the different product verticals. Lending on its own, for example, we have 3 different products today on lending, but we recently launched as small ticket lending, all the way to 100 pesos or $2 worth of loans. Short ticket, very, very, very frequent transactions, really geared for the underserved and the unbanked sector of the Philippines, right? We've just recently launched stock trading on pilot in the Philippines that we feel would be a game changer in creating financial literacy, changing how Filipinos look at the financial planning, saving, and investments, right? And we continue to work with regulators to be able to launch this moving forward.
All right, and any future updates on IPO plans?
I knew I wouldn't get away with the question without an IPO question, right? As Ernest mentioned in some media interviews some time back, the goal is to be push button ready within 2023. We look at the markets, we continue to monitor the markets, and as we had earlier conversations, we look at all the markets, including global, the implications of things that happen in the US, happening in Israel, and how it affects our particular place. We continue to develop and get ready. Getting ready involves 3 things, right? Where you're talking about how to establish all the pillars for growth, right? And we're doing that today with lending, with stock trading, with wealth management, insurtech, ad tech as well. The second part is really creating the corporate governance angles. We're instituting all those committees today to be able to basically act like a publicly listed company moving forward. And the third one is really just making sure that the whole team is geared up for it. Right? We can't say when because we're always dependent on the market. But at the end of the day, we don't want to get there and not be ready. So we're getting there. Just can't give you a date.
All right, Tek, appreciate the insight. Great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.